Theresa May is understood to have abstained from voting as Boris Johnson's internal market bill passed in the House of Commons on Tuesday evening. Former Prime Minister Theresa May is understood to have abstained on the third reading of Boris Johnson's Brexit internal market bill. The UK Internal Market Bill, which ministers acknowledge risks breaking international law, was approved by 340 votes to 256 on Tuesday evening and now passes to the House of Lords for debate. The government has insisted the bill will protect the integrity of the UK if a future trade agreement cannot be reached with the EU. The legislation would give ministers the power to breach the divorce deal with the European Union, despite threats of legal action from the EU and resistance from some MPs. Speaking on Sky News following the vote, chief political correspondent John Craig said, "We are pretty sure she has abstained. She did in the earlier vote. The rebels really have caved in. No sign of Theresa May, she has obviously abstained. Wasn't in the chamber." The UK's 5 living former Prime Ministers, Sir John Major, Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, David Cameron and Theresa May had openly spoken out against the bill. Earlier reports suggested Mrs. May could become to be the first ex-Prime Minister in over 30 years to break a 3-line government whip. The government say the bill seeks to protect free trade between Britain's 4 nations once the Brexit transition period ends, but it has soured relations with Brussels just as time is running out to reach a deal on a future long-term relationship. After an initial uproar within Prime Minister Boris Johnson's party, a rebellion was snuffed out by a concession to give Parliament a say over using the powers. The government says clauses in the bill which override the withdrawal agreement, signed by Boris Johnson in January, are necessary to protect free trade with Northern Ireland. The government has said they will only be used if talks on a border solution with the EU fail. The EU has been clear of their disapproval of the bill and warned it is an extremely serious violation of the exit treaty and has threatened to seek legal action. The EU wants to make sure Northern Ireland's open border with member state Ireland does not act as a backdoor for goods to come into the bloc. Scrutiny in the House of Lords, Parliament's upper chamber, is expected to take in early December. Mr. Johnson does not have a majority there and revisions to the most contentious clauses are likely to have strong support.